have a story tonight about a little boy in Houston, Texas, and the unfortunate life disease has brought him.
He is known only as Baby David.
In the early 1970s, an unusual boy captivated the nation.
He cannot leave his plastic bubble. Since birth, David has never touched another human being.
The case provoked an ethical catch-22.
What about the day he says, "I want out of here," and you can't let him out?
And eventually turned a little boy's tragedy into a cultural touchstone.
What would happen if I left now?
But decades later, David's story is not over. Instead, it continues to resonate and unfold in remarkable ways.
The story of David had a beginning, had a middle, but there is really no end, and that is because of David's legacy. David was born September 21st, 1971. I heard the first sounds of life, and he was placed in an isolator in a bubble that was a few feet from me. We thought that the immune system was just slow to develop. There was never any plan to keep David in there, in the bubble, indefinitely.
The sterile bubble was the brainchild of doctors who feared the worst: severe combined immunodeficiency, a rare genetic defect that had taken the life of David's brother the year before. But it fell short of a cure.
It was a gradual realization that his immune system was not going to spontaneously function. So I trusted science would find an answer for us next year, then the next year.
This 3-year-old boy you see in that picture has spent his entire life in a plastic bubble.
To expose him to the air would be to kill him.
His food, clothes, and toys have to be sterilized and placed inside the bubble with sterile rubber gloves.
As the years passed with no solution,
Since his birth 6 years ago, David has lived in a plastic world.
America tuned in to watch the milestones of his curious life unfold.
The scientists who sent men to the moon have achieved another first. They have found a way to open up the world of a small Houston boy who has spent his life inside a sterile bubble.
That he was excited by his newfound freedom is obvious from the NASA film. David wanted to do everything.
I think the best portrayal of his reaction is when he held up his hands, the fascination of seeing his hands in the small gloves for the first time.
Now it is possible for him to play catch with his sister and dream of even more.
The nightly news was just the start. Soon,